The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack, this like no Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
Before we start the show, we want to thank our sponsors, Pillars. Pillars is the best clothing line in the Chicagoland area. If you're looking for a dope hoodie, a sweatsuit, shirts, shoes, or even stuff for your kids, Pillars is where you should go. You can visit any of their 4 store locations in the Chicagoland area or visit pillarsclub.co and order online. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. It is your boy Scott. You know where to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BarberChairScott. You can follow the Barbers Chat Network at BarbersChatNet on Twitter and Instagram, and you can follow H&B Media on Twitter at H&B Media TV and at H&B Media on Instagram. And of course, visit the website of our sponsors, Pillars, at pillarsclub.co, man, to get everything that they've got over there. You need you a dope hoodie, dope clothes, you know what I'm saying? You want some good shoes, go to any of their 4 locations or order online at the website I just named, man. It is Friday, February 9th, 2024. It is Super Bowl weekend here in America, and it is a good day in Los Angeles, even though we just had a 4.7 earthquake, which I am very upset that I did not film my reaction, which was no reaction to the earthquake, because I'm not a bitch and I'm not going to be running around here like a majority of people acting to the ground shaking. Let's act like you've been around earthquakes if you've been in Los Angeles long enough, okay? It's just nothing like a little jolt to get your blood flowing, man. But anyway, we're here for another episode of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. We've got a packed show for y'all today. We're going to do a full Super Bowl 58 preview. We've got the homie and also 3-time Emmy Award winning director, Randy Wilkins. He will be joining us to talk a little bit about his 49ers and what he thinks about them heading to this Sunday's game. We're going to talk a little bit about what's been going on. What's Usher's set list going to look like this Sunday? And, of course, it is Cousin Dan Fridays. He was not here last week, so I'm pretty sure he has a lot of wild shit to say today, man. But let's bring in the rest of the crew. We've got super producer Dante, president of the Barbers Chat Network. You want to follow him on that October's on Twitter. We got the man, the myth, the legend, and my nemesis the last couple of weeks, J.R. Bang. You can follow him at J.R. Bang on all social media platforms. And we've got Courtney back from her vacation. You can follow her at 1-800-COLLABRO on all platforms. Mikey should be joining us in the second hour. If not, he will be on the Patreon exclusive hours. I have to sneeze real quick. But so that we should be having a full squad today, man. But how are all y'all doing? What's going on?
I'm not your nemesis, Scott.
I am solid, bro. Just really, ready. I'm not gonna lie. I wish we could, I wish time travel was real so I could fast forward to the NFL draft because I'm sick and tired of this shit. But yeah, I'm solid, bro. Really ready for it to be over.
I also wish that I could time travel to the NFL draft so I don't have to hear about Caleb Williams or any of these people in our group chat anymore. I'm sick of that shit.
Courtney is sick about shit.
About that shit.
Yeah, you gonna hear about it.
You gonna hear about it worse when somebody is terrible.
No.
Oh yeah, just you wait.
Fuck that. When Drake liked his pro day up,
okay,
it's about to be foolish. It's about to be foolish.
Hey, we here.
Hey man, look, man, I'm not going to let these two individuals and our Puerto Rican brother Mikey have made it out to make my life a living hell these next 2 months about this whole process, which we will get into
We know
in
the
the
vibes.
second, in the Patreon hour. And if you want to get on the Patreon hour, check the Patreon hour. Yeah, you can subscribe to the Barbers Chat Net Patreon and at patreon.com/Barbers Chat Network for I'm Not Gonna Hold You Overtime, which of course is our local hour. We talk about all the things going on in the worlds of Chicago sports. You can subscribe to the $5 holla if you just want I'm Not Gonna Hold You content, or you can subscribe to the $10 Barbers Chair All Access, man. If you want to know what we're going to be talking about on the local hours, you can see on the bottom screen. We're going to be embracing the reality of the Chicago Bulls, something that I think everybody who does this show has already embraced. But to a couple of you stupid motherfuckers out there who haven't embraced it, we're going to bring that to you. Why you need to let them motherfuckers go. Also going to be talking about, 3 Bears heading into the Hall of Fame. Devin Hester finally getting in. Steve Mongo McMichael finally getting in. Julius Peppers getting in. Even though he finished his career as a Packer and he said some questionable things, I'm going to let him slide. Because I remember the joy that he did bring us when he was a Bear. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about maybe the Chicago White Sox Stadium's actually going to be coming together. Actually saw some mock-ups of that this week. As long as my co-host Courtney are not going for the bullshit, but my other 3 co-hosts are falling for the shit, and we'll be talking about that.
I will see you niggas in the South Loop.
78, here we come.
We're going to be talking about, is Eddie Jackson possibly going to be going? He put up some cryptic Instagram messages last night. And we're also going to be talking about the rumors that Ryan Poles really isn't going to spend big in free agency. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about in the local hour, man. Let's see everybody in the chat. Great to have Courtney on the show. Her presence was missed. Like we always said, Orlando, you are not low, my nigga.
Then you let him cook. Let him cook. Thank you, Orlando.
I will let him cook.
Y'all are so ungrateful on here.
Hey, that's what we do on this show. That we're not gonna be, just gonna be, just be cool about shit. I know what this nigga's up to. Anyway.
They don't do Molly like this. They don't do Molly.
Oh, yes, they do. Oh, yes, they do. Yes, they do. Stephen A. be going crazy.
Stephen A. niggas are much worse.
Yeah, much worse.
He did it to Kimberly A. Martin. He's like, yo, all my friends try to text me, you know what I'm saying? Something about what's going on with her. No. No.
I will not let you degrade this sister on national television.
No. You can't.
But anyway, let's get into my sound off to start this episode, man. Today, I'm going to talk about the opposite of what every franchise in the Chicago area is, and that is a well-run franchise. I have to give love to a franchise that is in the city that I currently reside, that is the Los Angeles Lakers. Yesterday, the Lakers revealed one of what we found out 3 new statues dedicated to the one and only Kobe Bean Bryant. Yesterday, his statue with his hand in the air after he scored 81 points was revealed. And it was a real nice statue, real nice thing they put together, real good ceremony. And one thing that stood out to me wasn't even the statue and things like that, is how the Lakers are a really well-run franchise. We just saw something, the Chicago Bulls, and they did their Ring of Honor. It was the most tackiest thing I've ever seen in a long time. The Lakers, for the most part, are still like a family. You see all of, the alumni there. Now, granted, they have a much more illustrious alumni than Chicago Bulls. I'm very aware of that. But they do things like last night, you saw, Phil Jackson was there. You saw Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Byron Scott, Big Game James Worthy, all these people, Paul Gasol, even some of the guys who weren't even like the big time players, like, the Sasha Vujacic, guys like that, Trevor Ariza. There's always been like a family aspect to that, to the point where you got a guy like Rajon Rondo, who is mainly a Boston Celtic. He's been around the team like he wasn't a Laker for only 2 years. And that's the thing that I love to see, is high-class organizations that do things the right way and do things the proper way, which is everything the Chicago sports franchises do not do, from the Chicago Bulls, from the Chicago White Sox, to the Chicago Bears, to the Chicago Cubs, and to the Chicago Blackhawks, who we thought were a real-run franchise until we found out the nasty shit that was really going on in that organization during the dynasty years. So long story short, if you want a model of what a good organization is and how they run and how they're able to consistently get stars over and over. If you look at some of the biggest names in Laker history, they're also the biggest names in NBA history. You can go down from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, Big Game James Worthy, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. The list goes on because they're a well-run franchise. So that is what I'm giving my sound off with, man. So let's get into our rundown. This first topic that I want to talk about, and Dante, you can give me the wide shot here, is this is something I added to the rundown just this morning because I saw something on Bang's Instagram story, and I feel like Bang's Instagram story is also like my news. If I miss something, I know he's gonna post it on there. If I don't catch it on my Apple News app, I want to see what's going on in entertainment. You gotta go to Bang's IG story. And Shannon Sharp, and I just want to get this out there because in the internet, I know if you say anything critical about a person, you're hating or you don't like them, whatever. I've always been a Shannon Sharp fan, even like since his playing days. I was a big fan of Shannon Sharp when he was with the Broncos, when he was the Ravens, one of the greatest tight ends of all time. And I even liked when he started his media career with the first iteration of the NFL Network, where it was, Deion Sanders, Rich Eisen, Shannon Sharp, Carissa Thompson was over there. That era was good. And I'm a fan of his. I like what he's doing. I like how he's taking his platform from just, a couple months ago, almost a year ago, he's on the outs with Fox. The whole situation, them getting into it with the Grizzlies, and now he's on First Take. His platform, Club Shay Shay, is probably the biggest black media platform right now. Got to give him credit for that. Here's the problem that I have. It's getting a little too messy. It's going from Club Shay Shay to Club Shay Shay Room. It's becoming real Shade Room-esque to the point where you have these long-ass interviews. And shout out to their social media team for clipping them up. Because if you think I'm listening to 3 hours of Monique talk, you got me fucked up. The way they do things. Now, if that's the way he's going for, if he's like, yo, I want to be, the NFL version of like Jason Lee, as Orlando just said in the chat, or he's trying to be the next Wendy Williams, fine. I can't knock the hustle on that. I just would expect more from a guy who's as decorated as he is, playing the game of football, and just the way he's came from starting at CBS and starting the NFL Network to doing this stuff. I kind of think it's a little bit beneath him, and I don't really like the way it's going. And I also don't like how it's like, I feel like niggas just gonna start going up there saying whatever now. Like, I'm not saying that, what Cat Williams is saying was what was false or whatever. Some of the stuff might have been true. I do live out in Hollywood. Nothing I hear about Hollywood shocks me. And I'm not saying what Monique said isn't true either, but it's to the point where I feel like people are going to start going on that show and just saying wild shit to say wild shit. And it's going to kind of remind me of the early Breakfast Club days. So I want to go to Bang first. Bang, what's your opinion on this? Because I forgot what you called him. You called him NFL version or something.
So I said Shannon Sharp ain't nothing but a football playing Tasha K, fam. I too am a fan of Shannon Sharp. I too was excited when he left Undisputed because I don't watch Fox Sports. I can't do that. I've not been able to watch I have not been able to watch Fox Sports regularly since the Best Damn Sports Show period. And then when he went to First Take, I was excited about that. And the early Club Shay Shay, I was watching heavily. But shouts out to one of the OGs, Mary Datcher, who said that she tired of these biopic interviews. Like, this is where we at right now. Like, a lot of the stuff, the Cat Williams stuff and the Monique stuff especially, and the Country Wayne joint, because Country Wayne mentioned Just Hilarious. It's like, it's turned into the Kiki session. Yeah. When I was first watching Club Shay Shay, it was just like good conversation, learning new things about people, and, it was pretty good. Like, it was even the joint with him and Ocho. That was supposed to be about football. And then it slowly went away from talking about the week in football or the night in football to who got a fat ass and what's going on. So as much as I am a fan of Shannon Sharp, it's just a little bit too much kikiing is going on. It's turning into like early 90s talk show. This like Ricky Lake, Sally Jesse Raphael, Phil Donahue, Montel Williams show. Like, it's turning into that. And I really want him to get back to what Club Shay Shay used to be, but the cat's out of the bag now. Now everybody is going to Club Shay Shay to kiki and gossip and stuff. And a little bit disappointed, but I don't want, if this get clipped, I don't want nobody to think that I don't mess with Shannon Sharp But Club Shay Shay ain't nothing but a football playing Tasha K. That's what that is right there. So if you want me to say it like this, there's Club Shay Shay, and then there's the other content. And I like the other content more than I like the Club Shay Shay because this right here is turning into key gossip stuff, and I'm good on that.
Courtney, what's your opinion on this?
My opinion is that I don't have one. I just like I tried tuning in once, but I just don't find Shannon Sharp to be like that fascinating for me to dedicate any additional time to him aside from like sports stuff. So yeah, it does nothing for me. But yeah, I see what y'all are talking about in the group chat, and I'm like, that's a little weird for someone of his level.
Ain't too over that shit.
Talking like that. Yeah, it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy.
Ain't too over that shit. And it'd be funny when they be silently calling him out on First Take. And I think it was Ryan Clark said, you know, Shannon, sometimes you say stuff. Why? Well, we understand why you saying and Stephen A. See, I understand. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm like, Stephen A., you be having like ass breakdowns on the Stephen A. Smith show too. So you're not out of the conversation either. Like,
yeah, I let Dante go, but I got some questions I want to ask y'all, but I'll wait till Dante done.
Go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, you know, they always say it's a sad sight when you find out people are corny as fuck. But like, I think it's just unfortunate because it's like you said, JR, like these were like platforms that were meant for football. And now we get to the point where we're really like gossiping. And like you said, people gonna go in there and say anything. The nigga 21 Savage went on there and said, yeah, I won the spelling bee by spelling supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It's like, nigga, that's not a real word. Like, we're at the point where we just saying anything. And for him to allow his platform to get to that, it's fucking insane.
This actually gets to something that I've thought about for quite some time, but it further submits my point that men are the biggest gossips of all. Y'all talk about women, but men, y'all are some chatterboxes for sure.
Don't generalize me by putting me with
don't say y'all. I don't know who y'all.
I feel you.
No,
wait a minute.
No,
hey,
you're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. Y'all.
It's not wrong.
I said.
It's strange.
I don't gossip in the. Wait a minute. I don't gossip about the. Hey, you don't hear me gossip in there. I talk about sports and get cussed out. When I ask a goddamn question.
Sources, okay? This is why Trump won.
Yeah, I just asked the question and got cussed out. I don't want to gossip and I don't even want to ask a question. But no, Dante said it. Like, are we just finding out that the people that we looked up to from a sports perspective is corny as hell?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one. Okay, I won't talk about the person. I'll just talk about the experience. It was just real disappointing to hear somebody like point to me and tap me and was like, yo, look what I got on my phone. Look what they be sending me and look at this and look at that. And I was sitting there like, word? I used to work at Best Buy and I was getting those things. I was in my 20s. Why are you in your 40s and celebrating this now? Like, it's the best way I could put it. It's the best way I could put it. I'm sorry, forgive my Chicago. But it's just finding out that the cool dude that you thought was just a dude that don't get no ass, but he just be lying about it to the whole crew. Like, that's what they're starting to become to me. Like Stephen A. Smith giving ass sizes and some of the answering some of the questions that he get from the fans. Like, what's your favorite song to have sex to? Fam, I'm not listening to this show. I'm not watching this show.
I don't want to know what Stephen A. has sex to.
I don't want to know what you having sex to, my brother. Like, just tell me what's going on in the world of sports. And if you want to talk about it in a more honest way and using different words that you would use on First Take, that's fine. But I don't need to know any of these things that you're talking about right now, buddy. Like, that's going to make me look at you crazy. That's going to make me look at you corny. And then then you add to the fact when you be seeing these cats walking and strutting and all of this stuff, I'm like, man, y'all don't get no ass. Like, y'all lame. Like, that's the first thing that I think about. And even with the clip that you saw in the stories with Sweetie, like, bruh, She's off of another. Matter of fact, forget another one. She's off of a rumored relationship.
Yeah.
And they confirmed the relationship with YG. And you get on the stage on a live show and you women
And devaluing that
yeah,
black queen.
You talk about Sweetie, the one that used to date Quavo? Bruh, she's been off that. Off that. And that's what you bring up? And that's what you resort to? Like, if you don't know none of the music, fam, just don't bring the person up there. Don't embarrass yourself like that. But to embarrass yourself to the point where you didn't talk about the relationship she just got out of, you talked about the past relationship, which just so happened to have some issues in there. Like, man, that's corny. That's corny as hell.
Yeah, I agree too. And it's just something too. I get, like, as we always say, Bang, content is king. I understand, I get it. But it's just like I didn't like the Sweetie thing. It was wild corny to me because one, you could tell she was obviously uncomfortable. Two, it also came off like they had no idea. Well, obviously, he had no idea about her because it was just something he probably got from his PR or something like that. We're gonna have Sweetie come on. And I feel like even with these guests that they be having, like, what does that to do with your show and what the like nightcap is supposed to be about? A nightcap on a recap of everything that happened in that day of football or that day of basketball, and y'all up here interviewing T-Pain and shit. So like I said, I'm not hating on nobody hustle and shit. If that's the avenue that Shannon is really trying to do, more power to him. I just personally, I expected more. Maybe that's my fault for expecting more of them. And also, just as a Chicagoan, and like you said, Bang, pardon my Chicago, we also think 98% of motherfuckers is lame. Like, that's just also too. It's really not like a shock value in it. Just like, I thought it was a little different than that. But let's go on to our next topic, man. We're gonna be joined by Randy Wilkins, 3-time Emmy award winner Randy Wilkins. Just a minute on here, man. But let's talk about NFL expanding their reach. I guess it was announced earlier this week in Roger Goodell's Super Bowl press conference that they will be having their first game in Brazil this season. It will be the Friday after the season opener, and then Philadelphia Eagles will be hosting. That will be a big game. It's going to be in Sao Paulo. So, and there's also, they announced today there'll be a game in Spain in 2025. And this is also what I've been saying on this show, on this Twitter, that the NFL global takeover has been in works for years, and it's really going to take off to another level. And it would not shock me whatsoever if there's an international division coming. I think it's a big market for them this year alone. You've got 3 international, I think it's 4 or 5 international games going on between Germany, London, and Brazil. So I think it's dope. I think it's a good thing for the NFL. I think the one thing that'll be bad for players is that you already got a lot of games, per week. It's going to be something where, you got Monday Night Football, you got Thursday Night Football, and now you got this Friday night game. After Thanksgiving, it's basically Saturday Night Football for basically 2 months, basically. Then after that, of course, you got all day Sunday and Sunday Night Football. I believe there's a world where in at least 5 years, I would not be shocked if there's 4 to 5 nights of football weekly. Now, from the player's health, it's not a good thing. For a fan perspective, I fucking love it. So you got that, and on top of that, you're also hearing about another playoff game. As I have been on this streaming thing, the thing about the streaming was it really interests me. Like, it's bullshit, but it interests me at the same time. And now it's now stated Amazon Prime will be having a playoff game, like I said on this show about a month ago. Gonna go to Courtney first. Courtney, what do you think about the big expansion here that Roger Goodell is doing with the league, and do you think it's a good thing?
I think it's fantastic for the global audience, right? If the NFL is going to actively work to subvert other leagues from rising into prominence and being their competition, I think it's great for fans. Not so much for players who are already, being overworked in an incredibly violent sport. And being asked to recover in really awkward, weird time frames. But great for fans. Great for fans.
Dante, what you think about what's going on with the Shield?
This is my thing. I think at best, like you move a joke. We always joke about it, but the players' health is why we won't get football 5 days a week. But I think what you will get is like a relaunch of NFL Europe. And probably, like you said, like an NFL Africa, NFL South America, where they have these other leagues where you have football year round, where you have that ability to have all these different leagues. And I think they now have the capital, because I think one of the things with NFL Europe, a lot of the teams just folded. But now the NFL is printing money, so they can do whatever they want to do. So I think, more than anything, you'll see a launch of those leagues as, developmental leagues. And then maybe eventually, like you said, we grow to a point where you can have every league have a champion, and then we have a World Cup of football the same way we have a World Cup of soccer. I know Adam Silver has been trying to steal every idea he can from soccer.
And failing.
But the NFL they have much more more of the capabilities to actually do it and pull it off. So I think more than anything, you'll see more leagues in other countries before we see like an actual division, just because time zones and travel, that shit would be a lot. And we joke about DeMar Hamlin, but it would be a lot more of that if you tried to make them play that much football.
Well, here's the thing, and I'll hand it to Bang. Roger Goodell is also a psycho who does not give a fuck about player health. I think we also put that out there with the 18 game shit. And I think with the division, it will be something. Maybe these teams who are playing these divisions will be out there in this country or whatever for a month. They will play all the teams in that division for a month, and they will spend time there. Bang, what do you think about this? Do you think that that this is something where you can have 5 games a week, and do you think it's possible for a full international division to actually play in the NFL?
I'm actually with Dante on this. I think the allure of having a team in like London or Germany and all of that stuff is nice. But I see more of him trying to build these football spots and have like a soccer type feel of it. I don't know about like a World Cup of football type thing, because America's just gonna own that like forever. At least in basketball now, it's more of a chance of a Real Madrid having a better opportunity at beating whoever is the NBA world champion than like the NFL going up against like the Munich Marauders or some shit like that. But I do see them building, stops in Africa, England, in other countries, Germany and stuff like that, and really having leagues or just affiliates in those areas so you'll be able to do more moving around.
I just want to address this comment real quick. Shout out to Great Hokage in the chat. It says talking about NFL but still bringing up the NBA rent free. I noticed one thing that is lost in the world of the internet. You can talk about 2 things at the same time. Nobody was hating on the NBA. He just my co-host made an observation about the NBA that Adam Silver was trying to do some of the same things they do in soccer, which is facts. And
I'm confused about the rent free part.
Yeah, I don't know about rent free. It sounds like you're on Adam Silver's dick and not us, but whatever. We appreciate you for watching the show. But moving right along, let's talk about NFL honors while we wait for our guest, man. Last night was the usual NFL show, where they give out the awards of MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, all the other good shit. It was hosted by Michael Keegan. That's his last name. I don't watch Key and Peele. And there's no disrespect to
Michael Key.
Yeah, no disrespect to those brothers whatsoever. It's just not my brand of comedy. It's safe Negro comedy to me. I kind of put that in the same category as Abbott Elementary too. Once again, no, I feel like we in an age now. When you say anything, you gotta say.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Oh, can
you
I
watch the Bear? You watch the Bear, but you don't watch Abbott Elementary?
Yeah, what? We're not.
That's crazy. That's wild. That's wild.
No, it's not.
That is wild.
That is wild. No, it's not.
You watch that Yes Chef shit. You don't watch Abbott
Elementary. But you won't watch Abbott Elementary.
The Bear. I watched Abbott Elementary. I didn't say it was bad. I said it wasn't funny. I didn't say it was bad. It was not funny.
And he said, I ain't say it was bad. I just said the comedy wasn't funny.
Yeah, it's not funny.
What you mean?
It's not funny. But also, there's also show my comedy is different than everybody else's comedy. I don't think The Office is funny. I don't. There's nothing about The Office that is funny.
The problem about The Office is that it's not supposed to be funny.
But it's still not funny.
It's real life. If you work in an office,
it can be real life and not funny. First of all, there's another.
What you mean?
Shout out to Orly said during February. First of all, I'm gonna do my Stephen A. Smith. You not even black. So you can't tell me what I can say on Black fucking History Month. All right, let's just get that fucking clear real quick. This is no hate to anybody. It's not my cup of tea. The Bear is not. I don't know why the Bear is put as a comedy. To be honest with you, because it's not a comedy. I don't understand why it's in those rankings. It is not a comedy show. It is a very hold on. It said great coach. Oh, we got another. Talk about the league you guys worship and praise you guys guarantee contracts. What is the real penny pension? Okay, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but thank you for watching the show. So I have no idea where that went.
Really confused.
Yeah, it's really confused, but we appreciate you for watching the show. Yeah, to put a like, or you can put this like, you can say fuck us. So I don't care. I'm glad you watched the show. So I don't know
nothing to do with nothing, brother.
They ain't got nothing to do with anything. But anyway, let's bring our guest in, and then we're gonna get into other stuff going on, man. But we've got our guest, the one and only Randy Wilkins. He is a three-time Emmy Award winner. Sorry for messing up. He is
5. You gotta add 2 more.
I add 2. We're gonna put it into existence. 2 more, man. He is the director of one of my favorite 30s, The Captain, which is on the one and only Derek Jeter. And he's also a big San Francisco 49ers fan and a friend of the program. Randy, how's it going?
Pretty good. I'm ready for Sunday. I'm ready for all these haters to shut up. My guy Brock Purdy come through and win the Super Bowl. So I'm feeling good. How are you guys?
I'm doing pretty good, man. You missed my live reaction to an earthquake.
You guys are out there?
Oh, I'm good. I've been out here 10 years to the point it doesn't move me. Like Dante, I was talking to Dante and I was like, oh shit, the ground moving. And like, he's looking at me while I wasn't moving. I'm like, it's
not even that you weren't moving. It's like we were having a conversation and the nigga like said, oh damn, the ground moved. So anyway, and then was like, so anyway, like I was just saying, like just shrugged it off. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then I was just like, oh, that's a little longer than usual, but it's cool. Like if this was 10 or 7 years ago, maybe I've been freaking out. It took me a while to get together, but
shit, my wife. Hold on. Let me see
my wife.
Yeah, my wife out there. My bad.
Yeah. Oh, nigga, you pulling up peak Larry David. That was about 45 minutes ago, dog.
Oh my goodness.
45 minutes ago. I mean, it said, oh, my wife. But anyway, let's talk about the Super Bowl, man. First of all, I want to know, like, what's your feeling going into this game? I know as a fan, as a diehard fan, everything you've been going through watching this team, the ups and downs. They haven't played their best football in the playoffs, but they're still here, and they got an opportunity to get some revenge. Just what's your overall feelings about your team heading into this game?
Like I said, I feel great. I mean, they're a better team, despite what people are saying in the national media. I think a lot of it is just like Patrick Mahomes vibes and Andy Reid vibes and Taylor Swift boyfriend vibes. So, I mean, I get it. Like, I kept picking the Chiefs to make it here just because of Patrick, so I understand the sentiment. But I feel real good. I feel confident. I think if you, like, really break down these teams and even break down the playoff performances, the Niners are clearly the better team. The better quarterback is obviously with Kansas City, and he's the one that can kind of throw a monkey wrench in things. But just going into it in totality, I feel very confident, and that's even with the 2 recent playoff performances. I mean, the way I look at it is they made it to the Super Bowl playing like a C minus playoff run, and I think a lot of the perception of the Niners changed on Christmas just because they had the one bad game and some bad turnovers and also some fluky turnovers, but the entire country's watching them and they're expecting this heavyweight fight, and the Niners didn't really hold up their end of the bargain. And I think people just started to say, well, they're not this juggernaut, they're not this, they're not that. And then I don't think the playoff games really changed people's perception of them. But I mean, if you really look at it, the Green Bay game, at least on the run defense side, they only gave up one big run to Aaron Jones. And then you have the Detroit first half where it was just they just out-efforted the Niners. I've never seen the Niners play like that before. part of it was scheme and all that, but part of it was just like the Niners weren't competing, which I've never seen a Kyle Shanahan team do. It was just so bizarre. I think that was what was frustrating about it. But like once that half went by, they put up 27, like in a quarter and like quarter and a half. And like I think I looked at it again and I think they scored 20 points in like 12 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was more like the Philly game. That was more like the Cowboys game. So I think they realized that, you know, they had to get their head out of their asses and they needed to compete because Detroit was just out competing them. So I feel good. I respect the Chiefs. Like, I don't have anything bad to say about them. Like, Andy Reid is incredible. Their defense is good. But the Chiefs weren't good all year or at their standard for a reason. You know what I mean? And, I think that even showed up in the playoffs, but they got breaks this time. Like, Baltimore not running the ball. Stephon Diggs dropping that dime from Josh Allen. The field
Perfect
goal.
throw.
And the Buffalo kicker missing the field goal. Lamar, like being Lamar in the playoffs and like throwing in the triple coverage and like being unsure of what to do and then not even running the ball. Like, I think it's not like the Chiefs have been dominant in the playoffs. You know what I mean? I think Zay Flowers fumbling at the goal line, trying to like dive instead of just going into the end zone and being strong with the ball. I think there's a lot of things that have worked out for the Chiefs, which good for them to capitalize on. And it just feels like a lot of people aren't paying attention to that part of it because they have Patrick. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. I also want to say, as all three of us are here, I know Courtney is sick of our NFC North shit, but as three NFC North division haters, we thank you for sending the Packers and the Detroit Lions home. I didn't want to hear about he's the next Aaron. And, it's such a good, that's such a good story, Detroit Lions. No, it's not. It's not a good story. Who's it a good story to? It's not a good story.
It's not a good story, and like I wouldn't be happy if they were there. They weren't better than us. You know what I mean? Like I think they competed and all that, but like let's be serious. Like I'm not trying to see Jared Goff in the Super Bowl.
Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see that. Like you move him off the spot like 5 inches at the very least, and the dude's a bum. You know what I mean? Like they were.
I'm glad you said that.
Like even you know, they were talking about the 4th down decisions and all that. Like the one to Reynolds that he dropped is a bad throw. You know what I mean? Like he got moved off the spot a little bit and it was a bad throw. Like Reynolds is open. You make a better throw, the drive continues. Like they keep blaming Reynolds, which I understand you gotta catch it, but that ain't nobody want to see Jared Goff again in the Super Bowl. My God, like
the last time we had Jared Goff in the Super Bowl, it was one of the worst Super Bowls in modern history.
Yeah,
like a game that I was shit faced by the second quarter because I'm gonna get scum enjoyed from this.
Yeah. I mean, I think that division is going to be great. I think, you know, if the Bears make the right decisions, they'll be right back there, and the Packers and the Lions. So, I mean, I think it'll be a good division, but I wasn't trying to see none of them teams, especially the Packers. Like we own
them.
So
y'all got like a low key rivalry with them too. It's like I hate the Green Bay Packers in the world.
Yeah, I don't respect them. I don't respect their fans. Like the way y'all feel about them is how I feel about them. Like their writers, like all of them, they get the fuck out of here.
Everybody talk about Chicago media, but Packer media is bad.
Oh, they're terrible, man.
Terrible. They're like very. You were talking biased. Them motherfuckers is biased. But let's talk
they ain't
about,
got shit. They ain't got shit else to. No, else they got.
This is also true. When I did the Sunday night football game last year with the Bears and Packers, and I did the game, I was like, all right, I'm not leaving till the morning. I'm gonna go run to this liquor store. There was no liquor store open. It was 10 o'clock. There was no liquor store. When I had to go, I went to CVS. They had the whole liquor area closed up. I was like, what am I gonna do? I got to drink water. Like there's nothing to do in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Sparkling water.
Sparkling water. But let's talk about Brock Purdy, because Brock Purdy has got a lot of, hate and different kind of conversations. I was a guy who was very upfront when he started last year. I didn't like the conversation around it because it gave off white privilege, just because I feel like they were giving too much to him too early. This year, I feel like he's played really well, and also coming off the fact of that injury he had. Well, a lot of people didn't even think he was going to be ready week 1. Now he played, up in, just, 50%, like, a little bit up in, hot and cold, these 2 playoff games. But one thing that stood out to me was how he came back and won those games and made the plays to win the game. what do you think about Brock Purdy, like the coverage around him, and like what do you think a win will do for him? I hate using this word, but his media legacy. What would you think this would do for Brock Purdy?
I don't think the win will do anything for him. I think that people will just move the goalposts. They'll just say, you know, it's Christian McCaffrey. It's, you know, the same old song and dance. It was the weapons. It's the coach. I think people that feel the way they do about Brock Purdy, they're entrenched. It's not going to change their minds. I think Brock is a really good quarterback. I think he's the right quarterback for Kyle Shanahan. I think he's really talented. I don't think he's like in that elite conversation. I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback. He's only in his second year. You know what I mean? I don't think he's at a point where we should be expecting or even having conversations about where he stacks up against some of the top quarterbacks in the league. I think that he performed that way, but I don't think he's there yet. I think that's something that has to be achieved through consistency over a long period of time. He's only in his second year. Now, do I think he's in the upper echelon of quarterbacks? Yes. You can't really make a credible argument against him, especially because he's won since he got into the Miami game. He like leads in all kind of like quarterback categories, including EPA, and he made that offense way better. Like there was one thing amongst all 49ers fans that everybody agreed with when Jimmy G was a quarterback. It was just that he took too many sacks and he didn't take any chances and he couldn't hit any deep throws. So like the offense, while it was working, was limited. Kyle couldn't call all the plays he wanted to call, and Jimmy just couldn't execute some of the plays or some of the routes. Like I know a lot of the Niners receivers have said over the last year that they'll have certain plays where they're not the number 1 or even the number 2 read, and they're not expecting the ball, and then all of a sudden Purdy's throwing to him, and they're just like, oh shit, like he's throwing me the ball. Like Brandon Ayuk gets talk about that a lot, and a lot of them have happened on like deeper routes, and the Niners never did that with Jimmy Garoppolo. Like they didn't do that with Nick Mullins, CJ Beathard. They didn't do that with anybody except for Brock. So like he's made Kyle Shanahan better, which to me is like a huge accomplishment in of itself. I think the game manager, game changer conversation is silly and like rudimentary and like low hanging fruit. He's a good quarterback. You know, he's in the Super Bowl for a reason. Like the other thing too is like with Jimmy, because they always bring up Jimmy G in these conversations and saying that, you know, try to discredit Brock. Like I think Jimmy G in those 2 playoff games when they got to the Super Bowl last time, he threw the ball like 23 times in 2 games. Like when they played the Packers, they ran the ball 42 out of 51 plays. Jimmy G ain't had nothing to do with that run. Like Super Bowl. I think Brock has thrown it like over 70 times in 2 games. Like, so Kyle Shanahan trusts them and they're in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It's not the same thing at all. So and this is not like a LeBron meme or anything like that, but like I was riding with Purdy when he hit that throw to George Kittle against Miami when it was a cover 0 blitz in the game when Jimmy got hurt. And I was like, Jimmy would never make that throw. He wouldn't complete it. He wouldn't even throw it. You know what I mean? And it was just like, who's this dude? And then it just went from there. The Seattle game. His first real start was against Tom Brady. They dropped 28 on the Bucs in the first half. Like he's playing Tom Brady. You know what I mean? It's his first start. And it was like, okay, I think we're going to be all right. And then they took off. And then obviously what happened in Philly. But he's a really good quarterback. I mean, I don't see what the debate is. And like I get the white privilege thing, but the crazy thing to me is they're like hating on him like in a way. Obviously, I'm not saying it's apples to apples, but like almost treating him like a black quarterback. Like just coming up with all kind of nonsensical excuses to like get in his way or like tear him down. And it's like, man, y'all really don't like this dude. Like he a white dude from like Arizona who's like super Christian, who like
he dresses up like he went to the Gap.
Exactly. Like he's like young Kirk Cousins looking with his fits and all that. And like the most humble dude, nicest dude. And like y'all hate him. Some people like hate him for some reason. So I don't know. It's bizarre to me. Like he's good, man. He's in the Super Bowl, so it don't even matter. If he wins, y'all, you know, you can call him champ after that. Call him whatever you want, but make sure you call him champ first.
Definitely. You on mute, brother. We gotta have the fine chair. We might add the fine chair to the show. Every time I say
But no, bro. You mentioned Jimmy G, and a lot of the limitations he had with that 2019 team. Just on both sides of the ball, what would you say are the differences between this team that's headed to the Super Bowl and that 2019 team that went?
The best unit has switched. So the Niners have the best offense in the league this year, the most explosive offense in the year, in the league this year. And their defense isn't as good. They were a defense first team in 2019. Like everything was predicated on that defense carrying them through. Like even when they started off 10-0, I believe, it was really because of the defense. And they had an incredible defensive line with like Buckner and Armstead and D Ford and Bosa, rookie Bosa. And then they have Fred and Greenlaw. It was just like and Richard Sherman. So the identity of that team, which is the way that the Niners had built it at the beginning, was defense first, and then Kyle will figure things out on the offensive side. Like even if you look at the weapons the Niners had, then it was like their best receiver was Emmanuel Sanders. Their best receiver now, I mean, you could choose who you want to say is their best receiver now. So they had Mostert, who was incredible for us, but I mean, you have Christian McCaffrey now. You have an older George Kittle, who's probably the best all-around tight end in the league, and Ayuk and Juwan Jennings that people don't really talk about, and Debo. Trent Williams is a better left tackle than Joe Staley. So their offense is carrying the team more than the defense. The defense is taking a step back. I think part of it is because that they changed their philosophy in terms of who they wanted as a defensive coordinator. So like when they had DeMeco Ryans and Robert Saleh, they were linebackers. So a lot of the emphasis was on the front seven. Wilkes he's a secondary guy. So a lot of the emphasis has been on coverage and like the back end. And I think especially the D-line has suffered because of that. They're not as dominant, even though they have a lot of big names. I don't think Wilkes schemes a lot with the front four in mind as much as the coverage in the back. So this team is way more explosive than the 2019 team, and the defense is good enough to, like supplement that. But this is an offense team now. Like this, if their offense puts up like numbers, they're probably going to win. Their defense is good enough and built to like keep a lead.
Definitely. Before we switch gears to your two other teams, give me a prediction. And I know you rolling with Niners. What's the score for Sunday?
I'll say 31-24 Niners.
31-24. Okay, I see that. I can see it going that way. I think it's gonna be a good game. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know. I'm going with Mahomes. Because I'm just not betting against him. But like I feel like from a team aspect, they are the better team. But I also thought the Bills would beat them, and I told myself I'm giving him the Mahomes Brady thing forever, man. But we're gonna break that down later in the show. But I'm gonna go Bang. Bang had a question for you.
Well, and I have the same pick, same score and everything. So we'll see what happens on that. But here you a Bulls fan. Sorry about that. And that's coming from a fellow Bulls fan who's trying to decide, should I do the Scott route just from a basketball standpoint, how Scott has disowned the White Sox, and thinking about doing that about the Bulls, because it seems like the Bulls just loves to either be in, covered in mediocrity, or just doing enough just to keep the fans in the building and tease us with a playoff run. No trades since I think February 2021. Right. They feel like that they have a team that could compete. What do you think about this, though? Do you think that this regime is on par or worse with Gar Pax in the way that they're thinking and the way they're building this team? Or should we just be patient and relax?
Oh, nah. You shouldn't be patient or relax. Like, we can move on from that shit. Nah, we're good. They're worse to me because they're driven by apathy.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, you could be bad, you could be good. Being apathetic is one of the worst things anybody could be in any profession. And they're apathetic. And they just, to me, like the longer this goes on, the more this just feels like I found a job where I don't have the pressure to win, and as long as I do enough, I will be here for a very long time. It just feels like a job security move. You know what I mean? Like they're doing not only are they like doing the least, but they set it up in a way where they could only do the least. You know what I mean? Like they have no cap flexibility. They don't have picks. They refuse to move guys for picks. It's like it just makes me think that you just want job security because you know that you haven't done a good enough job. You're not getting this position with another franchise or a competent franchise. So to me, the longer this goes on, it's just like he's bullshitting everybody, and it's just like let me keep this sweet gig that I have. I'm not going to get too much flack from the ownership, and I'll bullshit the fans. They know that I'm bullshitting, but it doesn't matter because they don't write my check and they don't hire me and they're not my boss, so they don't really have any impact. And, I'll just be here for as long as they want me to be here, like, bullshitting people. I mean, it's like, it's apathy, man. It's the worst place you could be. Like, I know they say the worst place you could be in the NBA is like in the middle, which they're at. The worst place to be is in the middle and apathetic about it.
Like the worst part is they not even in the middle. Like that was the funny part about AK's speech. Like AK was up there talking about we're right in the thick of things. No, you're not. You 4 games away from being in the thick of things. Like you're not even close to being in the thick of things. Like,
and to me, the other thing that like that win against Minnesota, I think just like justified.
Oh yes,
that line. It was just like, man, we came back against like the top seed in the West. We're good. And then they win in Memphis. So it's just like, even I'm sure in their minds, just justified everything. And
with creative players, they played against creative players.
Yeah, there were. I don't even know who's on Memphis right now. It's just who is this?
It's the Pips. That's who's in Memphis right now.
Hey, question. I still got to ask this question again. Like, what does Mark Eversley do?
We gonna start asking everybody that. What does Westside?
What does he do? What does West? What's
crazy? I asked that when he got hired. I was like, "What is he supposed to do when he gets there? He's not making any decisions. Like, this is a black guy that they hired.
Yeah, there we go.
He's a diversity hire.
Yeah, he's a DEI hire.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. That shit is crazy. Like, I don't know. The Bulls. I can't disown them because I don't have it in me. Like I feel like as a fan, I have to be loyal. I can't pull like Scott with the White Sox. I can't do that. But like
this is the difference, and this is what I told Ben. This is different. This is the reason why it's easy for me to get one of the White Sox. At least the Bulls tease you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like at least in my time, the White Sox either win the championship 20 years ago or they just don't make the playoffs. Like at least the Bulls will give you a little play-in, little playoffs for a little bit. During the Garpax era, they made the playoffs like every damn year. The White Sox were historically ass. Like they're just bad. Like
that's how the Bulls get you. Can I put the tip in? Like that's how the Bulls get you. Can I put the tip in?
Yeah, the Bulls. Yeah, can I put the tip in? Yeah, exactly. Like no. This is the Bulls are like this girl used to date. Like she's bad in the 90s. Like she's bad. Like and like you got her later. Like you got her now. She's still nice. She's still good time to time. But she ain't what she used to be. But you stay around because y'all done had a kid already. Like that's who the Bulls are. Like that's who the Bulls are. The baby mama that I got, I still love her though, even though she be playing around. The Bears are the woman who breaks my heart all the goddamn time, and I should leave, but I'm never going to. Like she's abusive. She be like, she do something nice for me once a year, if that, and I take that and run with it. That's who the Bears are. So now I just treat the Bulls like I don't have kids, but imagine like if you have a kid in the living room and like you see them, but you ain't really watch them until they pick up something dangerous. That's what I treat. That's who the Bulls are to me. That's how I treat them. But I'm gonna go to Courtney. Courtney got a question for you. Mute jar.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I've been sitting in the rafters like Sting, so quiet while y'all been yucking it up. Okay. But Randy, obviously, I'm gonna pivot to baseball. The Pacoda standings currently have the Yankees winning the division pretty handedly over the Blue Jays. You guys are projected to win 94 games this coming season. what are your thoughts on the Yankees contending for a title this year, and who are your your biggest threats in your opinion to the Yankees winning not only the division but also the American League as a whole?
I was a little surprised by the Pacoda projection. Actually, I was a lot of surprised. I think the Yankees are going to be good. But they're just coming in with like question marks that nobody can answer until the season starts. So like the whole season is going to be on one guy, and that's Carlos Rodon. If Rodon is what he was the 2 years prior to last year, they're probably the best team in the American League. If he's not, then they have a problem. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's like, I don't want to simplify it that much, but it really does come down to that. Since they didn't get Yamamoto, which, in my opinion, that was a total failure because they put so many resources in tracking them. And I think that they worked off an assumption, and I guess some people could say an arrogance that, like, we're the Yankees. We have all this, like, history. You'll sign with us if we kind of meet your asking price. But he clearly wanted to break the record for a pitcher, like an overall deal, and the Yankees didn't even like entertain that, which to me just doesn't make any sense, regardless of people saying they offered a higher AAV and all that. Like, that don't matter. Like, as a filmmaker, if I'm doing a show, I don't want you to give me the most per episode. I want you to give me the most for the show. You know what I mean? Like, I want my guaranteed total money. I don't want per episode. Like, I don't really care about that. Like, I want my money. So, I mean, the Yankees are good. You know, they definitely have a much improved lineup, and they have nobody can top Soto and Judge. Like, in the first inning, every single game, you're gonna have to go through Aaron Judge and Juan Soto, like in some form or fashion. And I think they have way more depth. I think that I don't particularly like him as a person, but like Alex Verdugo is a good pickup for like the bottom of the lineup. I think it really just comes down to that starting rotation, and can Rodon be that really like legitimate number 2 starter? And then I think everybody else falls into place. I'm happy they got Stroman. I think that was a really good pickup, especially for the contract he got. And in terms of just like the threats, I don't know why Toronto's second. Like, that makes no sense to me. Like,
Toronto been getting away with murder for years.
Yeah, and like, and I used to be on like, yo, watch out for Toronto. At least when they were first coming up, I was like, yo, they're gonna be dangerous. Come on, Toronto, like, to me, it's Baltimore and Houston. Like, Baltimore getting Burns obviously is a big move. They have
not the Texas Rangers, not the defending National World Series champions.
I didn't mean to offend you.
Oh, I'm not offended. I merely
championship quarter.
I'm reminding people that the 2023 Rangers.
There's a couple things with the Rangers. The pitching to me is like a legitimate question mark, like the rotation and the bullpen. And I think their lineup will be good, but can their lineup carry them the entire season and through the playoffs? And can you repeat? Like, I also just don't think teams repeat anymore. So that's part of it. But like, if you're a baseball team that's so reliant on your lineup to like bring you to the promised land, I think like you fall short. Just because, you know, like, there's just ways to attack lineups, especially when you get to the playoffs, that you need to be able to compete on the other side of the ball. And like, losing as much pitching as they have, I just have a hard time seeing them being able to be at the level that they were last year. I think they're a good team, but I think right now Houston's better, Baltimore's better, and the Yankees are better. Like, do I think that they can make the playoffs? Absolutely, but it's just hard. I mean, they don't have DeGrom, they don't have Montgomery, they don't have Martin Perez, like, bullpen arms left. And I know that they have like their lineup is crazy, especially with the young guy being there for a full season. I can't think of his name right now. But it's just hard to like put an offense first team ahead of some of these other teams that I think just overall just have like better balance. So,
right.
And even with Baltimore, their best player is not even there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, once Jackson Holiday gets like
scary hours.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I still I think I'm biased, obviously, so that's part of it. But like, I still think the Yankees compete with them if Rodon's that guy. Like, I don't think the Orioles have a better overall team than the Yankees, especially because Bautista's not there this year. And I Kimbrel's whatever to me. Like, that's not a good move to me. So, I just think overall, if Rodon can pitch the way that he's pitched the previous 2 years before last year, I think they're the best team in the American League. But that's a big if, to be quite honest. Like, they're always hit by injuries, and I'm giving Houston their due because they're Houston. Like, you can't.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, brother, as a former White Sox fan.
No, don't say former. No. Don't say former. As you see in the
an hour ago. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah, don't Dante say he's gonna be in the South. Double cupped up.
Time out. That stadium won't be here till 2030. So I still got about 6 years. Fuck the White Sox.
And what is your hope that Jerry will either be in the ground by then?
Yeah, or what do you
at that point I don't give a damn. At that point I don't give a damn. We're gonna be in the suite. We're gonna be in the suite chilling.
78. No, you know what I'm saying?
Carlos Rodon, that's like I said, brother. That's a big if.
Yeah.
I know. No, I know that. Like to me, it's. I mean, the Yankees had a great offseason, but like the one thing was not getting Yamamoto. It's just like he would have. If they got Yamamoto, I'm just like, yo, we won in the World Series. Like, we'll see y'all in late October, November, and y'all gonna have to come through us. You know what I mean? But it's just like Rodon. I don't know. I was excited for Rodon, so I don't want to front like I wasn't happy when they got him. But I mean, after last year, changed. Like he got hurt and he had an attitude problem, and then he was like even bad, and then like people were blaming the injuries, and it was like, yo, man, that was like 4 months ago. Like you can't locate, you can't do, like what are we doing here? Like what's happening? So hopefully, I mean, I feel you. Like I don't have the utmost confidence in Rodon, but I think they will get to a point where in the summer the Yankees will be looking for another starter. Like that's how I feel, and then we'll know then if the Yankees are like legit. But I mean, every night, like I said, you gotta see Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. Like every single night in the first inning, guaranteed, you're gonna have to go through those two dudes. You know what I mean? It's just like good luck. And then people was like comparing it to Trout and Ohtani. It's not the same thing. Like
no, it's not. The Angels didn't even try.
Imagine if Giancarlo Stanton gets his
yeah. If he can stay on the field,
Yeah.
It's just like, Rizzo had a really good year until Tatis like broke his brain. It's just like Gleyber Torres is in a contract year. I expect him to have a good year. I think Volpe's going to take a big jump. And they, their defense, which I'm happy about for the most part, at least on the infield, their infield defense is really good. So I think that's going to make a difference. So I'm expecting a lot. I think they're going to be contenders, but again, it's the starting pitching. Like it's every year with the Yankees is the same damn thing. Like, can y'all pitch?
Yeah. So. Definitely, man. Definitely appreciate you joining us, man. Always good to have you on, man. It was definitely fun to do the holiday special back in New York, man. We had a good time with that. The funny thing about that is when I go back and look at it, I was like, man, I was drunk when we. I was like, damn, I did a good job because only me. I could tell I was smacked. Like we came in there. Shout out my man Al. He had us. The tequila was there, but I'm glad you was able to pull up. We had a good time out there, man. But let them know where they can follow you at, man. If you got anything coming up that you want to promote, the floor is yours.
You can follow me on Twitter at PamSon, PAMSSON. You can follow me on Instagram at Ravishing Randy Rude. I don't have nothing to promote other than the Niners winning the Super Bowl on Sunday. So watch the Niners win that Super Bowl. So that's where you can follow me. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's good to see you guys.
Good to see you too, bro. Definitely, man. Enjoy your weekend and enjoy the Super Bowl, brother.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Yes, sir. Let's get into our next topic, man. The topic we were going to talk about just a minute ago, man. We're going to talk about the NFL honors. The NFL honors was last night in Las Vegas. One thing I got to say about these fucking award shows that I hate is why if it's shot on the fucking West Coast, do I have to be on a delayed feed and have to wait till a certain time for that shit to come on? That just don't make no damn sense to me. I had to go and look at the East Coast feed of CBS to watch it in real time. But anyway, last night was the NFL honors. Lamar Jackson won the big MVP won the big award of the night, which is MVP. He's now two-time MVP winner. Comeback player of the year went to Joe Flacco. Before I comment on that, I'm going to wait for Dante to come back because I definitely want to talk about that real quick. Offensive player of the year went to Christian McCaffrey. Coach of the year went to Kevin Stefanski in a very close race with him and D'Amico Ryans. Walter Payton, player of the year. Shout out my guy, Jared Payton, and his entire family. That went to Steelers' Cam Hayward. And rookies of the year went to both Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud won the offensive rookie of the year, and Will Anderson Jr. won the defensive rookie of the year. Defensive player of the year was Myles Garrett, and they announced the 2024 Hall of Fame class. It was the one and only Devin Hester, long overdue, finally got in. Andre Johnson, Dwight Freeney. That's how I know I'm getting over all these guys who I watched their entire career and now getting in the fucking Hall of Fame. Dwight Freeney went in. Former Bear Panther Julius Peppers, Patrick Willis, Steve Mongo McMichael, and Randy Gradisher made the Hall of Fame this year. As we're gonna wait for Bang and Dante to come back, I'm gonna bring Courtney in here. Courtney, what's your opinion on what did you think about? If you even saw anything you saw from the NFL honors last night?
Oh, I didn't watch the actual program itself, but I checked out who won what. My only real beef, I guess, it's not with offensive rookie of the year. I heard people talking, saying Puka Nacua should have won it. And listen, there was no wrong winner, in my opinion, for that category. I also saw people trying to argue about TJ Watt not winning over Myles Garrett and whatever. For me, comeback player of the year is a funny is a funny category.
Yes, it is.
Because Joe Flacco, I know he was chilling at the crib, right? But would you call that a comeback?
This is why I called a comeback
for somebody else earlier in this. I feel like they're trying to lump in most improved player and comeback player and kind of make them the same. Because again, I'm not saying I'm not up here rooting for DeMar Hamlin. That man played 2 snaps of football this season. But if anybody was going to win comeback player of the year, it should have been that man who's down in Tampa Bay right now, named Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
that's just me.
That's a good point because I do kind of feel like the NFL kind of grades it like it is their most improved player award, which I think is kind of unfair a little bit. And and I do believe that what you said with with Baker Mayfield. I mean, not Baker Mayfield, but with Joe Flacco, he just was not around the team. This is why I don't have a problem with Joe Flacco winning because I look at his comeback because even when he's playing, he was ass. So maybe it's the way that they named the award that they probably should change. They should probably just call it the NFL Most Improved Player Award like the NBA does. Yeah. But I didn't have a problem. The DeMar Hamlin thing, I get it. But the nigga didn't play.
If he played more, then I would absolutely say that's 100%. What a comeback is. That is quite literally the definition. Of comeback. That man came back from tremendous adversity. The nigga literally died on a fucking football field. Yeah. If that was a comeback, that's better than Jesus, honestly. He came back and is now chilling with the living. Good for him. Good for him.
Bang, what'd you think about the award? Or anything you might have seen from the awards last night? Any clips you saw? Fine. Look, I'm setting on Monday's show.
Unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself, brother.
That's my
on
bad.
Monday's show, I am starting the Apple Pay fine.
You just got look. The wife called me to tell me about the earthquake, so that's what that was. So my bad. But
dang, Scott, you ain't got people that love you that were calling to check in on you?
No, because my mama knows if she calls me or if somebody calls me, I'm like, I'm not. Look, I done been through this 100 times. I'm
yeah, that was her first one. So
yeah, exactly.
Man, I ain't really watched that shit. Because I kind of already knew who was gonna win the awards, so it's Tired of award. Because I work in because of the way I work and what I work in, I'm like award show out right now.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need to see no awards, no monologues, no performances by. I'm straight. But I listened to what y'all was saying about DeMar Hamlin and Joe Flacco. And there's no way, even though we joke around with DeMar Hamlin, there was no way in hell Joe Flacco was supposed to win comeback player of the year over that man right there. Now, if you want to give it to Joe, I mean, because again, he almost died. This is like over Joe Flacco. Like he almost died, fam. He almost died. He got, even though what happened in that game should not have happened, he almost died and he got back on the field. They've given it to niggas for less. Now, if you really want to do it for talent and what happened on the field, you don't give it to Joe Flacco. You give it to Baker Mayfield.
Right. Okay. I'm
like, you give it to Baker Mayfield. Joe Flacco, look, no matter what, Joe Flacco don't deserve this award over any nigga that's nominated for this shit. It should be Baker Mayfield, DeMar Hamlin, Joe Flacco. I don't give a fuck if this nigga was eating Thanksgiving dinner and had the itis and went to sleep, and then he got a call from Kevin Stefanski like, yo, man, you think you could play next week? Like, I don't give a damn about that shit. Like, Baker Mayfield got cut by the Carolina Panthers, then got picked up by the Rams, had to play real quick. Y'all didn't give him comeback player of the year last year for doing that shit. And he gets to Tampa Bay, and he has a hell of a season and leads them to the playoffs. That's comeback player of the year.
I'm fine, but why we give comeback player? That's fine. Why we give it to DeMar Hamlin? He came back.
Are y'all kidding me? Are y'all kidding me? No,
this is what I'm saying.
Stop.
I said if it's between Joe Flacco and DeMar Hamlin,
give me the nigga that got off the couch.
That nigga ain't do nothing. One guy almost died. The other one just got off the couch. Okay, you see that couch right there? I got off of it. Comeback player of the year.
Joe Flacco was watching NFL Sunday Red Zone with us for 14 weeks and got his ass out there and led that team to the playoffs, bro. And y'all talking about a motherfucker who wasn't playing.
They was already almost there.
Almost don't count.
They was like 8-4 when he got there.
In the words of Lamar Park legend,
he just had to be a game manager. All he had to do was be a game manager, and that's what he was.
Look, I have no problem with the idea.
Joe was lighting that bitch up.
Look, I have no problem with the idea that Baker Mayfield should have won. I'm fine with that. But why are we giving it to DeMar Hamlin? Like, if he can win with whatever hospital in Buffalo Award, the whatever hospital award you survived award, comeback player to me means comeback on the field. He didn't play,
bruh.
That nigga had 2 more snaps than me all season,
bruh. Not over Joe Flacco. It would have been Baker Mayfield.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'll give you Baker. I'll give you Baker.
I give you Baker. I'm not giving you DeMar Hamlin.
Like, either give me the dude that almost died, or give me the dude that led the team the whole year to the damn and on a team that nobody expected for that to happen. Like, nobody really expected the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to have the season that they had. With Baker Mayfield as the starter, he had to fight for the damn job. They thought Kyle Trask could possibly take the job from him. Like, come on, man. That's who should have won it.
I'm tired of this. Like I agree with Baker. But everything else, keep it a bean. DeMar Hamlin shouldn't have been on the fucking ballot. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Y'all can come on, I'm going to hell. Why am I going to hell? What are we talking about?
The truth. They don't want to hear the truth.
He really almost died in prime time.
And that's fine. Yeah. I'm glad he survived. I'm glad he walking. But comeback player means you came back on the field and you did your thing on the field. I have no problem with you saying that Baker should have won over Flacco. But there's no way a nigga that had 2 more snaps than me should win over Joe Flacco. I'm just not with that. We got to stop that shit. And this is no disrespect to DeMar Hamlin, because if this gets clipped up, I'm saying if, like, I'm not the nigga clipping this up. When this gets clipped up, I don't have any. I'm happy that DeMar Hamlin is back to being who he is, and I'm glad that everything happened. But the nigga didn't play, and that's what the comeback play.
Okay, all right. See, here's the nah. The National Football League Comeback Player of the Year award refers to a number of awards that's given blah blah blah. A player who overcomes adversity to return to remarkable performance in the form of not being in the NFL the previous year, severe injury, or simply poor performance. By that definition,
Baker Mayfield.
That's Baker Mayfield number 1, DeMar Hamlin number 2. Severe injury, fam. He almost died.
Look, he can win the Jimmy V Award.
This is based off of what I'm reading right here.
He can win the Jimmy V Award at the ESPYs. Right?
This is based off of what I'm reading right now. They basically combined NFL Comeback Player of the Year and most inspirational player, and they put that in one. If you want to blame anybody, Scott, blame the NFL. The man almost died. So based off of the qualifications of the award, he at least number 2. Getting off of the couch ain't shit compared to those two people. Now, I don't agree. Look, I'm with y'all. Without the definition. But they thought the man wasn't going to make it. They had the chaplain there, fam. The chaplain was already ready to console the family. They was ready to cancel the week's games. They was going to have, everybody wear the patch on their arm with his number. Somebody was going to get filmed with a tear coming down their eye. That's what was going to happen if that man didn't make it.
So they retired his number on the ambulance. Do you know how nasty that is? If I was DeMar Hamlin, I'd be hot. I'm gonna put my number on a fucking ambulance. Nigga almost died. Don't treat me like I'm just some, they parading him around like he a miracle. He is a miracle.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Now let me rephrase that.
Wow.
He is a miracle.
Wow.
They parading him around. And I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. This ain't.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. You already fucked up. You already fucked up, Scott.
I was gonna say something wild. We're gonna let
that. But yeah. Per definition, fam. Per definition. Yeah. I'm with y'all. I'm saying that per definition, that's what you give it to. Now they should separate that shit to inspirational player and comeback player of the year. Now it should be separated. And that shit's inspirational. But it's not comeback player of the year. But per the definition and the qualifications, yeah, Joe Flacco just got off of a couch, man. He had the itis. That's what he came back from. Itis. And considering what his Thanksgiving probably consisted of, which was probably the most blandest, he didn't even have itis. Yeah, he came back from unseasoned food, bro. That's what we giving comeback player of the year to? Somebody who came back from unseasoned food?
Arguing, I'm not saying that it should have went to Flacco. I'm just saying when the SB storm across Los Angeles in July, and you got Robin Roberts coming up there, and they playing the nice little music in the background, and they give him the inspirational award, whatever. Fine, I'm all with it, but not for comeback player of the year. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But let's move on. I'm just gonna quickly take 2 minutes on this. Going to talk about the NBA trade deadline because we have to do that. Very underwhelming. Very underwhelming trade deadline, which I expected. Last year's trade deadline, you had Kevin Durant got traded, you had Kyrie Irving get traded, and I was actually, it was the funniest shit that when KD got traded last year, I was literally in a room with Kyrie Irving when it happened. Literally, and they had just got done playing the Clippers. It was Kyrie's debut with the Mavericks. And shout out my man Thomas, my man TPJ, co-founder HMV Media, who was like, Kyrie couldn't even sit down. He's like, hey, nigga, what you think about KD getting traded to the Suns? And Kyrie was like, man, can I talk about my game first? But that was a crazy trade deadline. I knew this was going to be like this, but there's 2 notable trades to me that stood out from a role player perspective. Pat Bev going to the Bucks. Hey, man, what are Chicago niggas doing? They trying to get their life right? Milwaukee or Minnesota?
Minnesota, Iowa.
Oh, Iowa. He is just drawing the lineage of Chicago players who go to these seasons. I think that's a good move for the Bucks because they need some defense. You know what I'm saying? So that's something where I liked right there. And then if you look at the other trades, we've got PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford are going to the Dallas Mavericks. They gave up Grant Williams, Seth Curry. If I was Grant Williams, I'd be very upset that now I have to go to Charlotte. Not that I think high about Texas because I don't, but Charlotte has got to be worse. And then a trade to me that was the biggest one here. The biggest one here is Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks going to the New York Knicks. I think that's going to be a big, they're a deep team now. They're a deep team right now, and I think that's a good move for them. Bogdanovic and Burks are really starting type players, and so they're going to have a deeper team going to playoffs. Just waiting for what's my man Jalen Brunson come back from an ankle injury. OG Anunoby just had surgery. He's going to be out for the next 3 to 5 weeks. So when things come together, I think that's going to be a big move. Y'all laughed when I said that thing about Dallas. Am I lying about Dallas?
No, I laughed because there's a Grant Williams joke here between you and I that
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But no, I think this is it was like you said, a pretty quiet trade deadline, disappointing, underwhelming. I do think Pat Bev going to Milwaukee is interesting because you get rid of Robin, you get rid of the Lopez's, so you add defense on the perimeter. But when you look at everything that you're lacking on the perimeter, it's like Pat Bev can't do everything. And I know Austin Rivers got mad when Kendrick Perkins said it, but like you need Giannis to look like the old Giannis defensively. So I mean, none of these really move the needle. Some of these trades are really like, why? You really gonna have these guys move their life for a couple months because these trades that's not moving the needle. But I mean, that's what we got these days. So much like the rest of it, much of the season has been, it's underwhelming. So we got to wait on the buyout market.
Exactly. Let's get into our Super Bowl preview. We will be merging the Super Bowl preview with Cousin Dan because Dan should be coming on in about 10 minutes to that. So let's get into the Super Bowl. Before we get into the actual game, Mr. Usher Raymond album came out today, and I'm going to blame Bane because he told me this album was going to be fire.
Man, Sam.
Go ahead, Courtney. You were on mute again.
Yep.
First off, okay. I don't know why we go into bang for what's gonna be a banger. Respectfully.
Oh, she came with your head.
Bang become useful authority within this year.
She said, "You don't know ball."
All the same people that said that Diddy album was fire.
Okay, hold on. Time out. No, stop right there. He might be a sicko, but that album was incredible. All right.
We're not talking about his personal business. We're talking about the music.
It was good.
That's because he
freaky. They became
the
freak man.
Hey, that never stopped anybody from playing Ignition by R. Kelly. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but that was before the internet. It was before the internet.
And Ignition is a classic song. I didn't say that was a classic album. You will never hear me say hear me say that.
Courtney, next time you go to Chicago, just turn on Power 92 in the Uber.
That's it.
They act like he didn't go to jail.
Right.
You gonna hear Kale's deep cuts on Power 92. Like you gonna hear his freestyle that he did on Pretty Ricky 20 years ago. Like that's how much
you still hear Merry Christmas from R. Kelly.
Anyway, I have some theories about Usher's set list. Okay,
go ahead.
And
the floor is yours.
I wish I had dramatic lighting. Okay, because I got a whole vision in my head.
The floor is yours.
Now a lot of people think. And this is where they get messed up about what the intro song for the Super Bowl is going to be. You never start with the go-to. So if you think he's going to come out there with Lil Jon and there's going to be, okay, dark, spotlight. Yeah. You think that's going to, no. You got to start with something quasi-recognizable to get people going.
Call Mang, oh man.
Yeah, sorry. To get people going. Okay, so you know what the opening song is? I'm hearing Will I Am, okay, in the distance. Oh my God. Baby, let me love you down.
He could start. Can I ride
100%? 100%.
I could see that, but I also think he's going to try to get us the blacks in it right away, and I think he's going to start with My Way. I think he's going to start with My Way. Look, hear me out. I think there's going to be majority glow stick tunes. Let's be very clear.
100%.
I think there's going to be majority glow stick tunes, but I think he's going to start off with at least the hooker my way, then he probably will go to Oh My God, and I think he's going to go through the. Everybody wants the R&B classics. You gonna get like
they're giving us freaking oatmeal face Alicia Keys, so we're gonna hear My Boo.
Cool. Look, man, My Boo, one of the most annoying songs of 2004, like by far. Like that's people used to. That I don't age me. I know what you're trying to do. Yeah, it was 2004. That's remember when they had to like re-add songs to the album.
Times 7.
Like, okay, I'm old. I know. I'm not the oldest one here. All right.
Yeah,
that was when that album came out.
I'm about to say no. My Boo was another one of those AOL music tunes. Like remember we used to download shit and they'd be like AOL music.
Yeah, exactly.
What? Stop, you know what it is.
Okay, all right. I see what's going on here. I
have my youth.
I think it's gonna be like a little R&B melody with like maybe 45 seconds where you'll get the "You Got It Bad," you'll get the "You Ain't Got a Call," you'll get that. But the man is closing with like, oh well, yeah, he's gonna close with you're gonna get "Oh My God," you might even get the DJ Falling in Love Tonight. I hate that damn song, but you're gonna get that. You're gonna get My Boo, and you might get you're gonna get Confessions, but I think it's gonna be mainly the shit that
Confessions is starting this off.
Oh, okay. That's
we're getting him on the phone. We're getting him on the phone doing all.
I have a question,
bro.
Does Chili watch the halftime show?
Yes, she does because he just stopped fucking with her like 2 years ago.
That's crazy,
bro. Y'all bullshit. Oh my! Like in Vegas after his residency, Oh My God is gonna start the show.
That's what I'm
whether you like it or not. That shit is gonna start.
They're gonna.
And I'm gonna say this. No, I'm gonna say this, and this is why I think so. Because even during the residency, whenever he would do his white songs, he would always look around like, "Look at my black fans. Y'all look like what the fuck?"
All,
but like,
I don't know if y'all pay attention to the slight flex in the middle of that statement. Dante think he low. If you went to the residency,
here you go with the extra shit, bro. Like I'm just saying, but no, I'm just saying. I'm telling you, bro. That's one song that he has that everybody knows. So like that's gonna start it. And like you said, that's a scene setter right there. Like you said, you got the flashy shit, you got all type of stuff.
All right, let's put a bet on it.
He's gonna ease into the black song.
Listen, I have correctly predicted this opening song for the Super Bowl for the past 3 years.
Okay.
Who did this? Rihanna? Who was Rihanna's opening song last year? What was her opening song?
Bitch Better Have My Money, right? Yeah.
Okay, Bitch Better Have My Money. What did Drake open with? Drake opened with
Next Episode.
Next Episode. Okay, yeah.
It's gotta be a song that when you hear the first 5 or 6 notes,
I predict
everybody.
I predict what's gonna happen is they're gonna do the Confessions intro, and he's gonna do the first. He's not gonna do the whole song. He's not gonna do the whole song. He's gonna do that, and then he's gonna sing that. He's gonna sing that acapella. And then he's gonna go into Oh My God.
But bro, you already did that for the commercial. That's why I don't.
Oh, they still got to do it. They still got to do it. They're not going to not do that. They're not going to not do that. They
may get the ring. You may get the ring, but you're not gonna get the full conversation. You're not gonna get any parts of the conversation. You may get the ring and then the beat drop.
I think y'all all make excellent points, and I'm probably gonna be wrong here, but I'm gonna go the opposite and say he starts with at least the hook of My Way. That's what I'm gonna say he gonna start with. But Alex said he said the show gonna be following playlist is a good choice. If Love in the Club comes on, I might drink a Four Loco. Now here's the question. He said he has guests. Is he gonna bring out Beyonce for the Love in This Club remix?
No.
Lil Jon has. I think Lil Jon still has a residency in Vegas, so it wouldn't be.
Lil Jon and Luda.
Oh, Lil Jon and Luda's confirmed along with Alicia Keys. They're all those three is confirmed.
Again, who asked for Alicia Keys?
And no, not trying to flex. Like Scott tried to put me out there, but like when the residency started, he started with a couple lines from My Way. That's how it started. So if it started like that, I wouldn't be surprised. And they skate out there in that bitch. That shit,
song don't even hit like that, so that would be crazy.
Okay.
Did anybody hear Mully this morning?
Huh?
Did anybody hear Mully this morning on Monday Hard? Oh man, his old ass was really like very excited. Oh, he does the skating at his residency. Oh, this is going to be an awesome show. Yeah, we gonna get the roller skating tunes and everything, but they extended it 2 minutes. That's why I believe.
My brother,
But
I know a drug dealer when I
they
hear one.
they extended it. They extended it 2 minutes. That's why I also believe that at the beginning of this whole thing is going to be the confession shit with people calling and all of that, and he's gonna sing that, and then it's gonna go into one of those glow stick songs.
Not the glow stick songs.
Let's bring Dan in here, man. We got cousin Dan Fridays, fresh back from Houston. He's got his Kansas City Chiefs jersey on, so we already know who he rolling with. Cousin, what is going on?
What's up, cuz? What's going on, everybody?
It's
Going
good.
good, man. Going good, man.
What is this jersey that we're rocking? What the hell is that?
It's Mahomes. What you mean?
Oh my God.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
I'm a big Mahomes.
Nothing.
I'm a
I
big
ain't-
Mahomes.
I ain't got it in me today. I ain't got it in me.
What?
Well,
I don't understand. What the problem is?
Well, we making a bet. What song do you think Usher gonna start the show with?
Probably oh my God.
Okay,
Thank
y'all, you were her there. You
Thank
were her there.
I mean, he got to do
A
something.
man of culture right there.
Wait a minute,
You gonna
Dante.
go
What
for
song
what?
did you pick?
I picked Oh My God.
Okay, so we
Not
got
only did I give y'all, oh my God, I even gave you like the stage setup, the doom doom.
I hate that goddamn song, but it's definitely gonna get played.
Oh, it's
100%.
100% going.
It's
Yeah.
one all the glow stick tunes again, and they're gonna close with 100%.
I'm mad that y'all keep calling them glow stick too.
They're glow stick tunes. Like
They're
when you
not, it's just pop. What are you saying?
yeah,
It's just
no,
pop.
because one of them douche like Jersey Shore ass type beats. Like that's what
That's
oh my
called
God.
EDM, my
It's like
brother.
Yeah, I call it glow stick music. That's
like
what I call it.
techno,
Well,
heavily
what-
bodies
Yeah.
bodies in the main room music.
Yeah, right, exactly, man.
What's wrong with oh my God? So you don't like Rihanna?
I'm
Like
not-
you
no,
don't
I like
what she
Rihanna.
did with like
I love Rihanna, but also don't look at Rihanna as a vocalist like I look at Usher. So I got like different.
yeah, but I
opinions on
mean
what I
he
want
crossed
Usher to have.
over. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
I get it from a
I heard
business
her say,
perspective.
that feels sexist.
What? She can't sing. It's not sexist. Rihanna can't
Yeah,
sing.
no, that's facts. That's
That's
facts.
facts.
She don't,
Rihanna can't
she's not
sing.
Usher level.
Yeah, she ain't on.
no.
And I love her. And I love her.
Like, yeah, we gonna go through the list of singers, but you don't want me to start that. But anyway, let's get right into it, man. We're gonna merge our Super Bowl preview with also your topics, man. So I'm gonna go through like mix them up together. So let's kind of goes off what we were just talking about with the NFL honors. I see your first topic here. You say fraud ass MVP. Explain to me what you mean by that, brother.
Yeah, man. Fuck Lamar Jackson, bro. Like,
Whoa, okay, goddamn.
look, man, I'm coming in hot, bro. Like, I get it, you know. He's just always who he is every year in the playoffs, bro. Like, and we all knew he was gonna win the MVP, but I just feel like it's fraudulent, bro. Like,
Who should have won?
I mean,
You better not say that man that plays football in Arlington, Texas. It better
Yeah,
not
listen.
be. It better not be.
I think
Wayne
Dak is a little more quarterbacky to me.
Oh,
No.
God.
You feel me?
Why? 'Cause he's like
So,
that.
for me, if we go off the regular
Let's
season,
be clear. I did not say this. For everybody who commented,
I'm about
this
to
is not
say,
me.
so the racism running the family. Goddamn, that's crazy.
it ain't racism,
crazy.
bro. What you mean? Like,
Lamar's not quarterbacky enough for you.
no,
I know why.
Lamar is just not quarterbacking. I mean, bro, like, what did he have? Like 3,500 yards this year? Like, I don't know, man.
No one's numbers were that good this season. No one's numbers were that fantastic.
Dak had a fantastic season.
Maybe by Dak standards.
I mean, by
Dak
any
had a really good regular season.
stop it. So,
And now I'm not even that guy.
100% by Dak Prescott standards.
I mean, I'm just saying, man, I'm just kind of sick of this shit, bro. Like, okay, he's won the MVP twice, but I mean, people get mad when I be like, I still would take Josh Allen over, dude. Like, I just feel like this shit is kind of fraudulent. Like, I mean, I just don't respect it. You know, congrats to him or whatever, but I'm good. Like I said, I don't really fuck with Kodak Jack like that. So
Kodak Jack.
I feel like, you know what I'm saying? He a fraud. That MVP is kind of fraudulent to me. I mean,
I'm with you on the playoff side. I think the thing that's fucked up about the MVP awarding with any league is they give it after the playoffs. So it's like we're not even thinking about their regular season anymore. We think about, oh, this nigga didn't do shit in the playoffs.
but
So I
even,
think that's what that is too.
But even if you look at him and Dak's regular season, Dak had a better year than dude. I mean, that's just what it is. Like, I don't care how much you dislike him. If you look at the numbers, it just is what it is, bro. Like, I don't know what else Dak has to do except not play for the Cowboys in order to get the recognition he deserved. But I felt like Dak Prescott had a better regular season than Lamar Jackson. That's just me personally.
So you agree? You think Dak Prescott should play for another football team? My brother in Christ.
No.
I'm glad you said this.
What I'm saying is, I think he's a great quarterback. He's just under so much scrutiny because he plays for the Cowboys. If he'd have had that same regular season on ran like the Vikings or anybody, it wouldn't matter. It would not matter. It wouldn't matter. So I'm just saying, I feel like people dislike Dak because of the team he plays for, but he had a better regular season than Lamar Jackson. I think that's fair to say. That's more than fair to say.
Let's merge the Chiefs topics, man. Let's talk about Andy Reid, Jason. Not Joe. I call that nigga Jason. Travis Kelce. My fault. Travis Kelce. There's been a lot of rumors about retirement heading into this game if the Chiefs do win. Because of I think it's the NFL Films video that came out about Jason being emotional with Travis after they won the AFC Championship game, telling him we need to finish this one more game. There's that. And, he hasn't been, he's been dominant, Travis Kelce, but he's lost a little bit of speed. And then there's also the rumor he's going to run off and just go with Taylor Swift, who we talked about last week on the show. My opinion is this. I don't think either one are going to retire. And the reason I say that is because there's an opportunity for them to do something else that hasn't been done, at least I don't know if it's done ever. If it has only been once before, I don't think it's been done ever. A three-peat in NFL history. It has not been done. The Patriots had a chance to do it. They failed. The Cowboys had a chance to do it. They failed. The Broncos had a chance. And, of course, we all know when the Niners had a chance and they fucking sent Joe Montana basically to the retirement home, the New York Giants. That big-ass hit they put on them. So I think they want to go out there and have a chance to win, 3 in a row. And I think that's why both of them will come back after this if they win tomorrow. If they lose tomorrow, not tomorrow, but Sunday, who fucking knows? If they win, I definitely think that they're not going to retire. Dan, what do you think about the possibility of that?
I think it's more likely for Travis to retire than Andy Reid. Honestly, I've looked at his podcast and he talks about like the wear and tear that he's picked up and the pain that he's in constantly. So I could see him walking off regardless of what happens. I mean, he's already like in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the best tight ends to ever play the game. As far as the tight end go, like I don't think there's much more he can add to his legacy except rings and stats. But I can see that happening. As far as Big Red goes, I think he kind of knows. I think he's gonna ride out this Mahomes train until he possibly can. I mean, he would be who would? I mean, I get it. He's old, but you could tell he doesn't carry himself like an old coach. And he has like the greatest quarterback I've ever seen out there. So I think he'll probably ride it out as long as he can. Obviously, we know, and I'm not, Travis Kelce is obviously amazing. I think with Cheetah leaving, we see that it's Mahomes. He's the fucking power behind the shit. And, Travis Kelce can't necessarily be replaced, but you could always find more receivers. But you just don't get a quarterback like this. And I think Andy Reid knows that. So I can't see Big Red leaving.
Definitely. Bang. What you think? You've been on the he might retire train. What you think about this one?
I'm thinking either retirement or a Gronkowski break for Travis Kelce, man. It is kind of funny and interesting that Eric Bieniemy is back around the team too. So not necessarily. Yeah, he's been back around the team. He actually put in a package for them before the AFC Championship game. Andy Reid had talked about that. I'm not saying that Andy Reid is going to retire and Eric Bieniemy is going to be the new coach. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it is kind of interesting because if you do retire, you're retiring thinking that the next coach of the team is on the team. So I don't think, do we think, or do anybody think Steve Spagnuolo could be the next coach of the Kansas City Chiefs? Matt Nagy, Dave Tube? I'm not for sure. I'm just saying, though, it is interesting that Eric Bieniemy has been back around the team, and the team has missed Eric Bieniemy. They've openly said like, yo, it was great having him back around the team. It was some sources that said that, even though Eric Bieniemy is like a fiery character, he yells and all of those things, and the Kansas City Chiefs didn't have that, is one of those things where it's like, okay, we missed him. You don't know what you have until it's gone, and now he's back around. So it's a little bit interesting that he's back around the team. And I could see a finesse here that not necessarily this year, but maybe somewhere down the line, Andy Reid is like, y'all ain't gonna give him no job? Fuck it. I'll give him one. But I do think Travis Kelce might be out for the year. Just want to chill out, relax, get his body right because he's a tight end and he gets beat up.
I think he's too old for that, man. I think it's
I
old.
did too. Yeah,
I think he's a bit old to take a break and come back. Like, I think it's over.
Our mans did it.
Gronk did it too, but then Gronk also moved like me that last year with the Buccaneers. You got that too. But shout out to Kyle in the chat. This is hilarious. He said, "Don't say the N-word, please." I know the N-word you're talking about was Nagy and not nigga. That's why it's hilarious.
That's why I didn't say his name. That's why I didn't say his name. It's like potential replacements. Hell no.
Meanwhile, that same Matt Nagy that Charles said it was his fault that they were struggling. Now they're in the Super Bowl. I don't hear shit about.
Because he got fucking Patrick Mahomes. I can draw plays for that nigga. Like don't take a fucking rocket scientist. Like,
now, you heard what I said, right? Somebody else was back around the team too.
Yeah, Eric Bieniemy. Yeah, that too. Courtney, what's your thoughts on possible retirement for Big Red and Travis Kelce?
Ain't nobody retiring. I think we're all being such sensationalists. And if this, especially regarding Travis Kelce, because if this season and the media spectacle that has surrounded him and his relationship hasn't shown you that this train is slowing down no time soon, I don't know what else to tell you. That man is absolutely going to ride this wave of fame, win or lose. Like, if the Chiefs win, it's only going to get worse. I'm prefacing that, and for everyone now, it's only going to get worse. It doesn't bother me, but it's going to get worse for everybody else. But even if they lose, it doesn't matter because he's still dating Taylor Swift, the most famous person in the world. Currently, the most famous person in the world. He ain't going nowhere. Andy Reid would probably have a better argument just because he is getting older. But again, I don't think he's going anywhere either. So, yeah. I don't think anybody's retiring at the end of the season.
Hey man, that's proof that you ain't got to get your head beat in to make no money. That whole thing with Taylor Swift makes it even more of a reason why it's like, you know what? I didn't say retire. I said, man, let me just go ahead and take a year and chill out and relax. I'll do all these damn commercials. I'll still get bread. They'll still have me back. I'm gonna go ahead and chill and relax for a year.
Dante, what you think about this, man?
I can see Kelce taking a Gronk break and really riding this world tour out with Taylor. As far as Andy Reid, I don't think Andy's going anywhere. I think he's not going to leave until Pat leaves. And I think, like you said, with Kelce, it's really a thing where it's the wear and tear that starts to add up. So you got to ask yourself. But at the same time, do you want to take a break and come back when you could just ride it out and then be done with it, whether it be 1 year, 2 years, especially if they win? That's why I think the results of the game are going to determine a lot, especially on Travis's side. Andy, he'll probably stick it out, ride out with Pat Mahomes until he just can't do it no more. But I think with Travis, you win tomorrow. It's like I said, take you a break, hop on that jet, go with Shorty, finish the world tour, and come back after next season. Take you a year off.
Now we bring up Taylor Swift, who is I'm rooting for this to happen because I am an agent of chaos and I want nothing more than Sunday night. You got the Getty images, you got the Instagram NFL, and it's got Taylor Swift kissing the Lombardi Trophy. I know it's gonna make the internet angry beyond means. Now
I can't wait for it. As a self-proclaimed Taylor Swift stan since I was 14 years old, I can't wait.
So we got
I am a Swiftie.
Kelso, you said you're a Swiftie too. Good.
Yeah, so that brings me into my next topic, man. I'm a whole Swiftie. I don't listen to Taylor Swift, man, but like it's just kind of crazy to me. The fucking Chiefs and Travis Kelce and Mahomes, they were successful before Taylor Swift. So I just find it hilarious that like the black community is like up in arms and shit every time Travis catch a pass or do some wild shit, they show Taylor Swift, and I find the shit hilarious, bro. So if that's what it takes, or whatever, for the Chiefs to win, or for me to choose my side, I'm a fucking Swiftie. I don't care. I need think pieces. You know what I'm saying? I want to see her swag surf again. That shit had me in stitches, bro. Before Travis started cracking her long back ass, he was successful. So I don't understand why people are crying. Like, bro, fuck it though. I'm a Swiftie. That's just what it is.
Yeah, this is my only issue, like, because I too have joined the Swifties, you know. But
Welcome,
at the-
brother, welcome.
at the beginning of the calendar year, she was dating a Nazi, my nigga. I think that has something to do with a lot of the PR.
I forgot
and
about
press
that
that's
shit.
Who was the
being
Nazi?
pushed.
Like, I didn't understand.
He was like a super
I
all right dude.
I still don't even understand
Either way,
any of
we
that
don't have,
shit that
we don't have to go
transpired.
into details, but I think a lot of that plays into the whole media thing. But no, I think it's gonna be dope. I think like this Sunday, I'm like, I forgot who it was who broke it down. It was like, bro, people are being really oversensitive about this because most telecasts she's on camera for like a minute and a half total. Like they do little 10-second shots to Shorty. It's nothing really
Shit,
serious.
Method Man said that on Levitar yesterday. Method Man was like,
Yeah.
she's been on. He said through the season, she's been on the screen total 45 seconds.
Yeah, like it's nothing too serious, but we're gonna see.
Let's pivot real quick to the 49ers. The other team in this storyline. The Niners, I feel like, have a title drought that nobody's talking about, obviously because they've been to the Super Bowl and they've won more than the Dallas Cowboys, which is why we don't talk about their drought. But they are coming up on the 30th anniversary of their last Super Bowl, which was Steve Young, Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders. Who's my man? Who's the safety? Yo, Bang. I know Bang know the old nigga references. Who's the nigga who used to dance all the time? He was in the E40 Players Ball video.
Burton Hanks.
My man,
Fuck you,
Burton
fam.
Hanks.
Fuck you, Jack. Burton Hanks.
My man, Burton Hanks. Like that.
Oh yeah, Bang is definitely our go-to guy for all old athletes, old songs, any old nigga references.
Why I am not running respectfully to Bang to ask for his musical opinion.
He said you're gonna take to pull out an EPMD. You should take that as disrespect. But it has been
Very
30
much so.
years. It has been 30 years since the 49ers last Super Bowl championship, man. They got a chance to get some revenge. Let's talk about Brock Purdy real quick. There's been a storyline that they've been trying to put out there since last year. And it's been gaining more steam as they've been comparing him to Tom Brady, because Tom Brady did come out and with a team who was, as I don't know, they weren't as stacked as this Niners team, but they were pretty stacked. Had a really good defense. Things like that. And Tim Brady didn't have to do the things that he had to do later in his career. So I feel we just had Randy Wilkins on earlier. He said he doesn't think the narrative about Brady will change that much. I think from a fan perspective, it won't change, but I do think the media is going to put him in a stratosphere that he probably don't belong in, depending on how he wins the game, which is what we talked about on Monday. What I feel, if he goes out there and he has like a Purdy, like a elite type game, he's throwing 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, which I don't think he will. I don't think Kyle Shanahan's even going to put him in that position. I think you're going to start to bring up more of that storyline that's kind of goofy to me. Dan, what do you think about Purdy and how he's played in these playoffs, and what do you think will change for him narrative-wise if they do win the game and he was the reason for it?
I mean, first of all, man, like they should fucking win. They're the favorites. They've been the overwhelming favorites in every game in the playoffs. So, I mean, he has a fucking all-pro at like every position that he has to throw to damn near, or hand the ball off to, or be blocked. Like, I mean, what do I think about Brock Purdy? I mean, I think a lot of quarterbacks could be in his position right now. I think similar to what you saw with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield would be just as successful on the 49ers. A lot of motherfuckers would be. So, I mean, when I see him play, like I think, we watched that Ravens game together.
Yeah.
And they exposed the chink in his fucking armor. I think there's a certain way you could play him. If you take C-Mac out the game, essentially make it just like a high-scoring affair and be like, all right, Brock Purdy, you got to beat us because that run game, you ain't going to be able to lean on that shit. Get it to these all-pro receivers. I think there's a clear and concise way to beat him. And you can't say that for the quarterback that he's going against. So, yeah, I'm not really a Purdy guy like that. But again, I just feel like his situation is pretty much America. He just like privileged his way into some fucking sweet shit. And now he's not gonna be on Brady's level. None of that shit. Even though Brady did have a lights out defense for a few of them first chips, like, I mean, I don't. When I see him play, I just don't think he's like that. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but when I see him play, yeah, he's more of a game manager to me. But you know, the media gonna push the shit out of it. It's what they want, and that's just kind of how it works. It's America. You feel me?
Courtney, what do you think about the Purdy narrative? Do you think it changes if the Niners come out on top Sunday?
I mean, I feel like we've kind of seen it trend in that direction, right? Like they're waiting for the opportunity to prop this man up so they can justify this whole, look at those guys that get picked up in the 6th round. Look at Tom Brady. They're not so bad. They're just literally biting for the opportunity to be able to do that. As far as me personally buying into it, I'm with Cam
I don't think any of us are buying it. Yeah, nobody are buying it. The media.
I'm with Cam Newton, and it's no disrespect to my man Randy. Randy, if you're still watching, I mean this with love. There's a reason why people feel that way. Oh, he succeeds in Shanahan's system, and I mean, yeah, that means that he's not necessarily the difference maker, right? He's been blessed to be good enough to be placed in an elite system surrounded by elite talent. That's if you could throw your way out of a brown paper bag, then yeah, you should succeed under those circumstances.
Yep.
Dante, what you think about this Purdy narrative heading into Sunday?
It's lazy. It's lazy as fuck. I know we love the whole history repeats itself, type of thing, but I think at the end of the day, Brock is really going to have to carve his own legacy. And we've talked about it all season. And I do believe, like we said for several weeks, how he wins this game is going to determine how he's talked about. If it's another one of those games where the defense carries him, CMC goes crazy, and then Brock makes a couple plays, then it's not going to be the same effect as if Brock actually just goes out there and dominates for 4 quarters, because that will lead to a lot of the Brady talk. But like you said, I understand what people are saying about the similarities from when Brady first got in there to when, Brock comes in. But no, I think it's just lazy. It's something that, we do this a lot in sports where you got to think people will run with this narrative for a minute, but God forbid Brock Purdy gets hurt or Brock Purdy becomes just, mediocre, then they'll quickly forget about this shit.
Yep. Bang, take us on this topic. You all right, nigga?
I thought I was on mute, fam. I was looking at an email. I was like, oh shit, I'm on mute, but I wasn't on mute. But Dante's right. Like, anytime I hear anything about Brock Purdy, I'm like, okay, that's enough now. Let's get this goddamn game over with. He's either, I heard them earlier talking about how this could be a movie. Mr. Irrelevant could be the name of the title and all of that shit. And I'm just sitting here like, man, I can't wait till this goddamn game over with. I don't give a damn at this point if this dude throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns or not. Let's just go ahead and get this shit over with, because everybody's using the same simple thing. And in a lot of cases, not necessarily talking about his football play outside of Cam Newton tripling down on the game manager versus the game changer situation. Even seeing him and Warren Sapp go back and forth about game manager versus game changer. And
that was an entertaining conversation.
Yeah, and Warren Sapp basically tell him in the beginning of the conversation, no, man, we know that's shade, man. Stop playing. We know that's shade. We know when people talk about game manager, that's shade, even though I don't necessarily think that's shade, but I'm also not thinking like some of the football players on the field who might use that term as the shit on somebody. So, yeah, I just can't wait to get this shit over with.
Before we get to Dan's final 2 topics, it is prediction time, ladies and gentlemen. Super Bowl 58, last game of the season. I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. Like I said, I'm not going to not pick against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm rolling with my dog, Patrick Mahomes. I think this will be a game that will be very competitive, like the game that we saw 4 years ago. I think this would be, I don't say a low scoring game, but it's definitely not. I don't think it's going to be a game we see 30 plus points scored on either side. I got the Chiefs winning this one 24-21. It will be a game winning field goal. And I think Patrick Mahomes will be Super Bowl MVP for the third time, and they will officially be a dynasty. Dan, how you see this game going?
Yeah, similar to what you said, 27-24 Chiefs. Think it's going to be competitive. I mean, I think it's funny because you went against the Chiefs with the Bills, though.
I did, and I won't do it again.
Okay. I never lost faith, unlike everybody else. I knew Mahomes had a switch, so I think he's going to solidify himself as like the baby GOAT, and just run it up from there.
Courtney, how you got this one going?
We said it already. I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes again. I do think it's going to be a good game. And if I'm being honest, I wish the 49ers would win because I do think, in my opinion, that it's their time. But no, I'm not betting against the Chiefs. I got them winning 28-21.
Bang, you already said earlier you have the Niners. What is your score and how you see the game going?
No, I said I got the Chiefs.
You said you got the Chiefs. My fault.
Yep, I got the Chiefs 31-24. Game-winning touchdown. Travis Kelce will have those touchdowns. And he's gonna win MVP. And then, that's gonna add to your effect of the confetti and Taylor Swift,
Oh my God, this is so awesome. And then fucking Michael Strahan gonna give her the trophy. Dante, are we going for a clean sweep with the Chiefs, or are you going with the Niners?
I'm going 24-21 San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
So no, I know I said I don't bet against Pat, but I do think, the Niners have a complete team. And I think this is a time, they've had the week off to really get back on track because they won these two games and they, haven't played that great. I think you're going to get a great game plan from Kyle Shanahan, and I think they're going to keep Brock Purdy clean, and I think the Niners are going to, like I said, finally overcome everything and get to the top. I think this, Pat will be back, so, he still has, the greatest start to any career we've ever seen, but I think they're going to take an L on Sunday.
Before we get to the last two topics, Courtney, I know you got to bounce. We got a segment debuting for you on Monday. We're going to talk about a little baseball. Tell the people what they can expect from your segment.
Yeah. If you are interested or know someone who's interested in getting just to learn a little bit more about baseball, I'm going to try to keep it a little bit approachable just, for people who may not know the game. But I'll also still make sure that I keep in some of those more advanced elements for our people who already know the game. And I just want to make sure that they're in tune for what we got going on this season. This brain right here, nothing but baseball stats and vibes. So let's get it.
Definitely. You can follow her at 1-800-CALLER-BRO on all social media platforms. You have a good weekend. We'll holler at you on Monday, G.
Cheers. Go Taylor's boyfriend.
Now we got two more topics. One is perfect segue to one of your topics, because as I was scrolling social media, I saw that Micah Parsons, who has been talking a lot of shit in the media, was on Radio Row. He said he doesn't think that TJ Watt is a top 5 pass rusher in this league. Now, yeah, he just said this. I just saw it on Twitter, and TJ Watt was tweeting about, he's crying about not winning Defensive Player of the Year. Now, you put on your list, shut the fuck up, TJ Watt. What do you think about what do you agree with Micah?
No, I don't agree with Micah at all. I think TJ Watt crying, like, bro, like, if I had the choice between you and Myles Garrett, I would not be dissatisfied with either of you. Pause. But like him going on there crying, it's like, bro, Myles Garrett is a fucking monster, dog. Like, what are we doing here? And he didn't like really have a actual quarterback all fucking year. You know what I'm saying? And that defense was still lights out, like keeping them in games that they shouldn't have fucking been in. The Steelers was just kind of like just lucking their way into victories and shit. I don't want to, like, come on, bro. Like, TJ Watt, like, you're great. You'll probably win the award again. But, like, dog, you got to give it up, man. Like, stop it, bro. Myles Garrett had a fucking amazing year. He's a monster. He deserved it, bro. Don't go on the internet crying, dog. Like, that's just lame as fuck.
Yeah, I'm with you, too. And they give the Watts fucking everything. So it's like,
everything.
You'll be all right for not winning this one time, man.
Right.
Like, before we get to your last point, I know you are a Kobe fan. What did you feel about the Kobe statue? Do you like it?
I mean, I like it. When I seen it outside, I was like, "Oh, okay, it looks much better." I believe that's what he requested, right?
Yeah, that's what he requested. Yeah,
no fucking statue like actually looks great.
yeah.
Like I knew people were gonna fucking hate it regardless. But I don't have a problem with it, man. I mean, they could have did the face a little better, I guess, but it's a fucking statue. None of them statues like actually look flawless. The only flawless statue is like Jordan's. But that's because he has like a signature pose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's damn near impossible to get that wrong. You're not even really looking at the face. You're just looking at that Jumpman silhouette.
Jumpman. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I can say that I don't really know how the face actually looks because I've never analyzed it that close. But that's what they do with all other statues. But I thought it was cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't really have a gripe with it. You know what I'm saying? 81 points. I mean, motherfuckers always gonna talk, man. So just let them. But I ain't had no huge issue with it at all.
Well, let's get to your final point for the day. Go ahead.
Yeah, my final point, man. This 65 game shit to win like major awards, I think that shit is kind of stupid. And let me explain why, man. Like the NBA in itself, the commissioner, the league has created this fucking like expectation that only rings matter, right?
Yeah.
Fucking Adam Silver, I watched him say on a fucking interview, like they asked him, do you think, I think it was him and KG, and they was like, do you think the new rules have made the league soft? Like, what do you feel about that? And he was just like, basically the old rules with a player like that Cup that shall not be mentioned that y'all like so much, he wouldn't be as successful in a physical NBA. And so he feels like people want to see the 3-point shot, blah, 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 blah. So I only say that to say, like, if you set an expectation that only rings matter, that the regular season is not that huge of a deal, everybody want to be like Mike, everybody got to get to 6 rings. What the fuck do you expect? Motherfuckers not going to take it serious. They're going to load manage. They're going to sit out. They only going to fucking play when it matters. And I don't agree with that shit. I think that shit is bitch made as hell. But I feel like setting a 65 game precedent, it's just going to end up being some bullshit. Like, obviously, Embiid was clearing away the best player in the NBA this year, hands down. Like, he's not going to get that award now. So we'll see if Joker makes it 65 games. You never know what the fuck could happen. But what's going to end up happening is you're going to get random motherfuckers who just happen to make it to 65 games, winning MVPs and shit. So that's my final point.
Yeah, so you don't want to see people like Jalen Brunson winning the MVP?
Hell no. He's not the best player in the fucking league, dog.
What about Shea?
What about Shea? You have a problem with Shea?
Shea Cole.
Because he's probably the one.
Shea's not better than Embiid.
No, he's not. But and I think with the 65 game rule, I think they had to do something because the fucking, and I agree with you, but the Clippers, the Clippers, they were in a whole bunch of other teams sitting out. The Spurs invented the shit. So like that, I feel like there was I do feel like the incentives, like their money, I don't think their money should have anything to do with it. Like I understand why Tyrese Halliburton rushed back. I'd hoop on one leg if I had $40 million on the line. So I definitely understand that, man. But Cuzzo, always good to have you on. Let them know where they can follow you and get in tune with you.
At Dan_Glorious on Twitter. That's all I got.
Definitely, Cuzzo. We will holler at you next week, bro.
Have a good weekend.
Yes, sir. So we are going to close up this episode with my Goofy Mog of the week, which is something I enjoy giving to people who did goofy shit this week. There was a couple ways I could have went this week. I could have went the Steven Jackson route with the shit he said about Austin Rivers, and I'm not going to say like I'm some Austin Rivers fan or anything, but I mean, come on, he invented like the damn high school mixtape, damn near. That's how cold Austin was coming out of high school, and it just felt like Stack Jack was like dick riding LeBron with the comments he said. But that's not going to be the way I'm going today. I'm going to go with, basically, Kobe Bryant, statue complainers, and this is the reason I say this. Only on the internet when you have the wife of this person say my husband picked this statue. You know what I'm saying? My husband picked this statue, and this is what he wanted. Her words, she said, if you don't like it, tough shit. And only that with the end say, fuck what she said. This should have been this. It should have been the Jersey Pop. It should have been hopping in the shack. It should have been this, that, and third. Let's stop it, man. Like, stop trying to tell people what shit should be. Like, hey, I understand everybody got an opinion and things like that, but some shit you just need to shut the fuck up about. And actually, I blame myself for expecting more from social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely am going to blame myself a little bit for that. But if the woman comes out and she says, yo, this is what my husband wanted, this is what he picked, there shouldn't be any fucking conversation about that shit. And it's just kind of like what Dan said about, no statue is perfect. And I did think when they first showed it, I was like, oh, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see the full thing. I didn't know it actually had the Laker colors and things like that. I'm looking forward to actually seeing it in person when I do the Clippers-Wolves game on Monday. But I thought it was good. The fact he's getting 3 statues, I think is great. He was going to 24, and he's going to have the one with him and Gigi. I think it's just it was a beautiful ceremony yesterday too. So I'm gonna give my Goofy Mog of the week to Kobe. Statue haters, man. It's not your statue. Shut the fuck up. I see my little cousins in the chat, Peyton. He said I need that shout out, so I'm gonna be a good cousin. Give him a shout out. He's a new father, so congratulations to my cousin. Peyton just had a daughter, so definitely adding to the family, man. So we're going to wrap this episode up. We're getting ready to head to the Patreon. As you can see at the bottom, you can subscribe to patreon.com/Barbers Chat Network. We've got the full Chicago sports local hour, man. Everything in the local hour. We're going to be talking about embracing the reality of the Chicago Bulls. We're going to be talking about the new Sox Stadium, as we're going to hear Dante shamelessly give love to them on that. And we're going to be talking about, 3 Bears in the Hall of Fame. And also Adam Schefter said on Waddle Silver this week that he thinks that the Bears can get a first-round pick for Mr. Justin Fields. So I thought it's pretty interesting. So we'll talk about that as well, though. Bang, Dante, anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Subscribe to the Patreon, nigga.
Subscribe Patreon.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
We do a whole lot of free talking. You got the 5. Stop playing.
Y'all got the 5. Y'all got the $5. Yo, fuck with the boy, man. Hopefully Mike, you'll be joining us in local. We don't know. He texted me, so we're still on standby with him, but we're gonna be recording that right now, man. Shout out to our guest, Randy Wilkins, man. You can get in tune with him. And if you haven't watched any of his work, you need to go watch his work, man. Go watch the 30-30. Came out 2 years ago, but still a goodie. The Captain, which is a 5-part. No, it's actually a 10-part. I think it's 5 or 10 part. It was a documentary series on Derek Jeter. It's on ESPN Plus right now. You can check that out, man. Monday we'll be back. For all you Bears fans who didn't want the spotlight of the NFL world on you, in the words of Vanessa Bryant, tough shit, because that's exactly what it's going to be. Starting Monday morning, we're going to have a jam-packed show talking about the Bears. We're going to recap the Super Bowl, and we've got Adam Johns, who is the Athletics' own. He'll be joining us to talk about everything going with the Bears, man. And since we're going to be showing 5 minutes of that interview live on the show, we're going to be pre-recording, and the rest of that will be on the Patreon. So if you want to see that, like we just said, patreon.com/Barbershare Network. Y'all can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Barbershare Scott. You can follow my company, the Barbers Chair Network, at Barbers Chair Net on Twitter and Instagram, man. You can follow this company that you're watching the show on right now, H&B Media. Shout out to Pavy, shout out to TPJ. You can follow them on Twitter at H&B Media TV. You can follow H&B Media on Instagram at H&B Media. And, of course, get in tune with our sponsors. That is Pillars, man. Pillars Club. You can go pillarsclub.co to order all your gear on there. And also you can visit one of their 4 stores in the Chicagoland area, man. Y'all have a great Super Bowl weekend. Y'all enjoy the time y'all spend with y'all family and friends. And we're going to holler at y'all on Monday, man. We up out of here.